Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey. What up to Mary Lazo, DLC, Demetrius, Emperor, everybody that's in the building. I appreciate y'all for continuing to rock out with me. Dave Ramsey. Why is it popular? Biz Q, I'm definitely going to read that super chat shortly. Why is it so popular to go against the advice of Dave Ramsey right now? I've always said that Dave Ramsey is 100% right, but his advice is honestly for people that's even trying to get straight to the, trying to get to the starting line. When you want to get a little bit more, deep dive into certain investments, breaking down banks, looking at individual stocks and whatever, that's not what he talks about with his baby steps. But how can you argue with a dude what is bigger than a Deca Millionaire? What's the triple one? He's well over $102 million in net worth. I don't really understand how people can argue against Dave Ramsey. But it's a lot of young people that got beef with Dave Ramsey. He had recently appeared on Fox News, but this is one example of a person that disagrees with Dave Ramsey.
I'm so sick of people between the ages of 30 and 18 years old getting crap for being dumb with our finances. Because here's the reality. We're done with our finances because we have people like Dave Ramsey.
Is it Since a Millionaire? Shout out to you. Thank you, Wealth Building Journey. That's the first time that I heard it. Let me rewind this a little bit. Check out what this guy is saying.
Our finances. Because here's the reality. We're done with our finances because we have people like Dave Ramsey giving us our financial advice. Recently, Dave Ramsey said that you should not buy a home until you've got 20% to put as a down payment on that home. Now,
So I don't even want to go into a stupid rant because I'm limited on time. But these are the type of people that's showing up and they all over TikTok. I mean, they're all over TikTok basically saying, don't listen to Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey saying that if you want to finance a home, that they saying, oh my God, you got to put at least 20% down or whatever, so on and so forth. And they're going to use all of this anecdotal experience and say stuff like, because if you put 20% down, then what if you wait for a year and then you missed out on the appreciation and all this other type of stuff, right? And so it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Putting 20% down, first of all, make sure that you get the best rates. It also limits the amount of money that you got to spend on private mortgage insurance. All of that, right? But this is recently Dave Ramsey appearing on Fox Business. And he was there to discuss what all of the rhetoric is going back and forth because it's now becoming popular for people to say that Dave Ramsey is wrong about finances, which is wild to me. Take a look.
$1,000 saved.
Here now is the founder and CEO of Ramsey Solutions, the financial icon himself, the master, the one and only Dave Ramsey. Dave, good to see you. Thanks for being with us. So a two-part question for you. Does that number 1.46 million to retire, does that sound right to you? And if so, how does anybody get to that massive number for their retirement?
Well, it's not enough for some, and it's way too much for others. So, I don't know where that number comes from. It's something somebody just dreamed up in a poll. But obviously, where you live, how you choose to live, the standard of living you want to retire at, gives you the number that you need annually. And then we can back into the size of your nest egg that you need. So for $1 million, should generate, say, 8%. That'd be $80,000 a year to live off of. If you can live comfortably off of $80,000, then $1 million's enough. If you need 160, it sounds like you need $2 million. So somewhere in there. But yeah, you can do it. You just need to start saving again. The good news is that we have found, we did the largest study ever done of millionaires in North America. And we found that the typical millionaire in America did not inherit their money. 89% or
89% of most people that are millionaires. This 100% dispels the myth, especially from these people that's running in the Victim Olympics. And I see so many people, even within black culture, saying, oh my God, you inherited in order, we got that person because they're rich. 89% of millionaires, most millionaires, a lot of them are actually immigrants into this country. 89% of millionaires did not inherit their wealth, but they got it out of the mud. And over 16 to 1,700 new millionaires are made every single day. Every single day. And this just absolutely dispels the myth that everybody's inheriting wealth and generational wealth or whatever, but it's an easy talking point. It's an easy talking point in order to make the excuse for you not being what it is that you are. There's so many different ways to get a bag. But most of us have self-inflicted wounds, and most of us won't stay down long enough to actually endure enough to get to the bag. And most of us want to go out here and stretch out, and as soon as we get a little bit of money, we align our lifestyle with how much money we make, and we acquire a bunch of debt as a result of it. And we don't actually get it. Lemaire Flanagan says, your stalkers, AD, say you inherited your wealth. Well, if I inherited my wealth, then where did my brothers go? And where did my mothers go? And where did my young, because I got to, listen, I'm like Brandon Johnson. I'm a middle child. How come my two older brothers didn't get none of it and then my younger brother didn't get none of it either? Why do they still live regular lives, but I live an irregular life? If wealth was inherited, then how come my younger brother lives a regular life, my two older brothers live a regular life, my mother, who I'm taking care of personally, lives a regular life? Why was I only the person that got the money? I'm just curious. Have y'all ever asked yourself these questions before y'all even start to have this conversation with me? Hello? Hey, I'm going to call you right back. I'm going to call you right back, okay? Okay, bye.
Not millionaires because of inheritance. They did it the old-fashioned way. They earned it. And they were, the number one way they became millionaires was just simply putting money in their 401k over a long period of time and getting their home paid off. It really wasn't rocket surgery.
Dave, I want to ask you, the Wall Street Journal wrote this piece, it was probably a month and a half ago, about Dave Ramsey tells millions what to do with their money. People under 40 say he's wrong. There's a hashtag on the TikTok, which I don't use, but it says hashtag Dave Ramsey wouldn't approve. And it's a bunch of young people who essentially openly flout your recommendations about living more frugally and saving.
I don't really understand why that's a big deal. Hey, live frugally, save more, invest more, stay down longer, ultimately benefit and explode, and then you could be able to live the life that you want to live. I don't really, yeah, he said I'm a Nigerian. I don't really understand why that's such a difficult thing to do. That is not crazy.
And that's, I'm just going to let you respond, but I think that's going to blow up in their face. Because once you start living high on the hog, you live that life, you want to live that lifestyle for the rest of your life, and you're not going to have the money to do it. But what say you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, anything on social media, you can find a lot of fun stuff on me. I'm real good clickbait, so it works really good. So have at it. But yeah, and it's always been that way. I've been doing this for 35 years, and there's always a group of people who say you can't do it. And so the system has to change, and they're a victim, and they're entitled. And, you know, TikTok gives them a voice, or Instagram gives them a voice, or whatever, but it's always been that way. On talk radio, we gave them a voice. They could call in and scream at me, and it was fun. It made great radio. But the truth is that this Gen Z generation and the millennials who caught a bunch of crap are excellent generations. What we're seeing with both of them is there is a segment of them that is very serious and very good with their money. They believe in it. They believe in saving, they believe in investing, they believe in the free enterprise system. And then there's a segment of them that just sucks. They're just awful. I mean, their participation trophy, they live in their mother's basement, and they can't figure out why they can't buy a house because they don't work, you know, and stuff like that. But I've got 400 millennials, 500 millennials working on our team here at Ramsey. They're incredible. I love them. Gen Z all over the building. I love them. They're fabulous. And so it's just this one segment of whiners on TikTok or something that pops up because they don't want to face the fact that they got to control the person in their mirror.
Two things that I learned from this. No matter who you are, no matter how many people you help, no matter how God-fearing you are, no matter how basic and sound the advice is, you know, that comes out, ultimately it comes out like this. You're always going to have people who don't like you that try to discount you, even if you're Dave Ramsey. Here are the baby steps. They're very basic. Number one, this is Dave Ramsey's baby steps. Start an emergency fund, meaning that that's the way that you start to leapfrog into being financially successful by giving yourself a mental barrier or overcoming this mental barrier by saying, hey, if anything happens, I don't have to feel like I'm starting back at zero. I got a little bit of a cushion over here. Number two, focus on paying off your debts. The debt snowball method, which is basically you pay the minimum amount on all of your debts, and then your smallest debt, you pay as much as you possibly can, and then you roll that over into the next debt until you ultimately kill all of your debt. All right, remove the debt. Third thing, complete your emergency fund. Basically, you want to save, I believe, 3 to 6 months. This is what he preaches. I don't necessarily preach this. I preach something completely different. I say that you should continue to stockpile money into assets that are liquid enough for you to be able to tap into it if anything was to ever happen. But he's basically saying, hey, have enough money to where if anything happens or you get laid off, to where you'll be able to sustain and be able to maintain until you bridge yourself into the next situation, okay? Number 4, save for retirement. It's one of the biggest and fastest ways that people become millionaires is they fund their retirement and they let their money continue to compound over a period of time without all of the tax burdens, and they remove the tax burdens that come along with that in order for them ultimately to raise their net worth. Number 5, save for college funds, meaning that you don't want to put your children in debt and you want to allow for them to continue to be successful without the burden that comes with student loans, and you want to teach them how to be fiscally responsible. Number 6, pay off your home. A lot of people like to hold on to the debt because they keep saying the interest rates. Let me tell you something. I'm not giving a bank a dime. I'm not giving a bank one dime. That's my money. I work for it. I traded in my time for money. I'm not giving the bank any money in interest just because they're saying that money is cheap. I'm not doing it. Number 7, build wealth. That's when you start to become philanthropic. You start to move a little bit more. You can have some fun. You can start to invest in other things. You can start businesses, all of that other type of stuff. And it's very, very basic. This is very basic information. And then you can start to go into the nuances of what wealth look like and how you should start to invest your money and what kind of businesses you can start and then how you prevent yourself from giving more over the taxes. It's that simple. It's very, very much that simple. So listen, for all of the people that is fighting advice, and I can take advice from anybody. I don't care if it's Dave Ramsey. I don't care who it is. A lot of people have some really, really good advice. And if you mine through it and you take the meat and spit out the bones, then you can ultimately become successful. Some stuff I don't agree with. Some stuff I do agree with. The stuff that I agree with, I take it and I implement it into my life. I'm not trying to limit myself. All right? It's very much that simple.